the love of God operating through the human heart. All we are is love. You've heard it over and over and over again. What is love? Love is the ability to accept life where you are, as you are, without judgment. At Agape, we understand that spirituality is a practicality. It's a way of living. And that's what we teach. We teach meditation. We teach how to create a fulfilling and meaningful life. And today, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at what gives meaning to life. And so, I'm very grateful that you joined me today, because I get to share with you ideas. And when I share ideas, I get a deeper clarity. So I'm not just teaching while I'm talking to you or inspiring. I'm doing it for myself as well. You cannot give without receiving. Remember that. You cannot receive without giving. Life is always circular. So let's take a moment. Let's get still and begin with a little guided meditation today. So I invite you to bring yourself to a comfortable, seated, upright position with your back straight, hands gently resting on your lap, index fingers and thumbs connected. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Consciously breathing in and consciously breathing out. Knowing that every breath nourishes and every breath purifies. Every breath connects and every breath lets go. The breath is like a circle, the circle of life. So I invite you now to visualize your breath moving in and out of your heart, opening and clearing your heart to give and to receive greater love. Feel your heart opening and expanding. Feel the oxygen moving into your lungs, into your heart, into your blood, moving through your veins, bringing life. And now bring your awareness to your third eye in the center of your head. Small pineal gland between the two halves of the brain at the level of the eyebrows. The intuitive center where we receive divine wisdom. Let's breathe into that so that we open up the flow of our intuitive nature. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And now, where we bring our awareness to our throat center, that energy center between the heart and between the third eye. And we breathe into it to open so that our heart communicates clearly to our third eye, and our third eye communicates clearly to our heart. Breathe into the throat, breathe out. Breathe into the throat, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And now notice that there's a flow. The energy moving between your third eye, through the throat, into the heart and back. So there's a circular motion there. We're allowing infinite wisdom to flow into our heart and our heart to discern what it desires to experience in life now. The infinite wisdom is flowing through the throat into the heart, and you're asking yourself the question, what do I desire to experience in my life now? Just sit and listen. Is it greater abundance? Is it greater love? Is it more meaningful relationships? Is it a greater state of awareness? Is it to release the past, to become free in the now? Is it to create something that will serve you and others? What is it that is calling you? The heart doesn't need to rationalize. The heart just knows. It's the ego that rationalizes. Start to bring yourself into a state of gratitude. Just simply a gratitude for being alive. Because being alive means you have infinite opportunities to experience life, to create new experiences in life, to try new things, to expand and to become a greater you. Knowing that you are infinite, that expansion is without bounds. But you accept that in human form, you do this one step at a time, one thought at a time, one action at a time, one feeling at a time. And it's enough. And so just bring yourself to a state of gratitude. Gratitude that you have a body, you have a mind. Gratitude that you are alive. And with life, there's always something of meaning to accomplish, to feel that sense of inner fulfillment. And with a zest and a love of life, start to come back to this time, to this place, to this day. And when you're ready, open your eyes, put a smile on your face, and welcome back. So I just finished the book, Man's Search for the Meaning in Life by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a psychologist, a therapist, who was in Auschwitz in World War II, and he survived. And he understood through all of the people he came across, the ones that survived had a reason to live. Something that they looked forward to. Those who gave up, who lost their reason to live, they died. And so I realized that as I look at myself, I said, what is my reason for living? And so today I want to talk about, what are you looking for? Yeah, what is it that you are looking for? What would give your life meaning? What would give you juice to live life? The first thing I'm going to talk to you about is the secret of creation, the secret of life. And here it is. It is done unto you as you believe. Whatever your beliefs are, you're going to create that experience. whether the beliefs are conscious or whether the beliefs are unconscious, whether they're someone else's beliefs that you bought into or beliefs that you've created for yourself. Most of your beliefs are unconscious, and they are creating your life. When you understand that it is done unto you as you believe, and that means you will understand that you are 100% responsible for your life experience. And you would say, why would this be this way? You see, the infinite that created it out of itself, meaning you are an individualized expression of the infinite, created you with the power to create, gave you the power of belief, and the power that you're never separate from the divine power. But the idea is to realize that we, as individuals and collectively, have been left alone to discover our true nature. And our nature is that we can consciously unite with the infinite and use our creative power. You see, the true discovery of life is that we're one. We're one with each other. We're one with the infinite. And the other aspect of that discovery is there is a power to create in the universe that is greater than we are, and that we can use it. And so when we discover that we are one with the infinite, and that its power to create is responding to our nature, and we understand that the secret to using that power is to create beliefs, we now have the key to living the most fulfilling life possible. You see, this law that creates, the law of cause and effect, is a natural law. It is available to anyone who chooses to consciously work with it to create a specific outcome. And even though you don't consciously work with it, it is working all the time. It never turns off. It is always reflecting back to you the nature of your thought, the nature of your beliefs. Now, are you man enough? Are you woman enough to start to say, I can consciously create my life? And are you willing to work and use this law to prove to yourself that the power to create is within you? That takes great courage. That takes stepping out of society, because most society doesn't believe in the law of creation. Most society is a believer in it happens to you and you just deal with it. That's not the way it is. You have the power to create as you consciously bring your focus to that which you desire. As you consciously bring your focus, you're building belief. One thought, one word, one action, one feeling at a time. Religion teaches us to look to God for our salvation, for our abundance, for our health. What I've come to understand is that we must stop looking for an outside authority and start consciously using the law and prove to ourselves that the power we seek is right where we are. There's no outside authority, because that would mean there's something outside of God, outside of us, because we're a part of God. We're a part of the infinite. As such, there's nothing outside. It's already in us. And the same power that created the cosmos is the same power we use through our beliefs. So we don't have to look very far to find this power. It's right where we are. But we've got to test it and prove it in order to embody it. We will not believe it until we've proven it to ourselves. And it takes effort. It takes work. But I'll tell you, I'm using this power as much as I can, as consciously as I can. And I realize it's so easy to become unconscious and fall into thinking whatever society is thinking. I had that experience with the dentist this week. I've associated the pain with the dentist. And when I went into the dentist, guess what? The association I had caused my blood pressure to raise, when in reality there was no reason for it to raise. The dentist did good things for me, but I have not yet developed as much control over my ability to control stress as I think I have. Normally, I sit back in my resting pulse. When I'm sitting down, resting in meditation and quiet, my pulse is something like 56 to 58, 59. But yet when I was in that dentist, it rose up to about 105. Yeah, all it was a perception in my own mind that caused me to have that. Now I'm working with, how can I see the dentist differently? How can I see it as not a threat, as not representing pain? I get to choose. It's something I'm choosing to work on. When using this law, know that nothing is exempt. Nothing is forbidden. It is equally applicable to all things, situations, conditions, and relationships. This creative law applies to everything in life. Everything. So the question you got to ask is, what do you believe about this, that, and the other? And are you willing to invest the time? Are you willing to invest your spiritual coin, your effort, into using this law to give you a better relationship, to give you more abundance, to give you greater health, to give you a greater perspective of how you see and how you act in the world? Realize this law doesn't understand limitation. The only limitation is what we create in our own mind. So here are the two basic principles of science of mind. First, there is an infinite intelligence and we are one with it. Did you get that? There's an infinite. It created everything out of itself, which it had to because there's only it, and that you and I are a part of it, and each of us is a unique part of it. There's no two of anything. We're one with the infinite. That's our power source. The second principle of science of mind is there is a universal law that responds to the nature of our thought. When we can embrace these two principles and make them the basis of everything we think, do, say, we become powerful creators. We step outside of the norm. We are no longer a part of the masses. We become conscious creators. You see, each of us has the challenge of discovering this presence and to prove this law for ourselves. That's the challenge. That's the purpose of life. That's where we get meaning. Can you imagine the meaning you would have if you knew you were one with the infinite and you knew that you had the power to create anything and you could use that in a way that was fulfilling to whatever was coming up with you? Can you imagine how excited you would be to be in life? Oh my God, it's incredible. There's an illusion that we humans have bought into. The illusion that we were meant to be happy. I believe happiness is a part of life, but it's not a constant state. We live in a world of duality. It is the duality that allows us to create an experience. Without the duality, it would be just a blank screen. With duality, we can create a motion picture. So our purpose is to create, not to be happy, but to be fulfilled. And only you can determine what it means to live a fulfilling life. Me teaching like I am right here gives me such great fulfillment. My ability in meditation to go within and know oneness gives me tremendous fulfillment. So using the two principles of science of mind, give my life its special meaning. It can give your life the special meaning too, in your unique way, because what's available to me is available to you. It's available to everyone. Remember, happiness is part of the journey. Contrast is definitely in the journey, and your purpose is to create a fulfilling life. And you get to decide what that looks like, feels like, and shows up in the world as. Think big, my friends, because the power in you knows no limitation, and make your life the greatest fulfillment you can possibly imagine. So I want to thank you for joining me today. If you like this message and you want to support this talk being brought to more and more and more people, please make a donation. The link will be in the description below. All your donations go to support this, and what we're using, any excess money we get, is to find ways to take this information, to market this information to other people all over the world. If you'd like to plug in more with Agape, go to agapespiritualcenter.com and find out all the offerings that we are making. So I've got a new class starting in a few weeks. That class will be on the mastery of self. How do you master yourself? I think it's a great class. It'll be 6 weeks. If you want to sign up for it, I'd love to have you in class with me. Also, I do meditations every morning at 7 a.m. I do weekly healing sessions on Saturdays. I'd love for you to share with me and be a part of that. We are a community that teaches practical spirituality. We teach it so that we can learn how to better self-love through conscious living. Thank you for your time, for your attention, and for your love. And know that love comes back to you. You are worthy. And so it is.